When I was in the 8th grade, I learned about the water cycle.
Because the water cycle is very important to know. I asked my teacher, why is the grass so wet in the morning?
He's like, it's because of the water cycle. Don't you get it?
The sun heats the ocean, which soon turns into gas. It goes to the sky, turns into white clouds. This is evaporation.
Then the clouds get heavy and soon precipitation occurs.
Solid, liquid, gas, water can be that. It's a transformer, kids. Remember that. Yeah.
When water is a solid, its particles are close together and don't connect.
When it's in a liquid form, the particles are further apart, and it takes the shape of what it's in. Yeah.
When it's a gas, the particles are very spread apart. Yeah. If it wasn't for the states of matter, the water cycle wouldn't have existed. Nah. Back to the water cycle. After it precipitates, the water either becomes groundwater or surface water. Let's talk about the groundwater that I learned 2 weeks ago. Yeah.
The groundwater runs through an underground lake, also known as an aquifer. When the water is going through the ground, it also filters out most of the impurities.
The aquifer can be accessed and used as wells. The water in the aquifer eventually goes back into the ocean and the water cycle repeats.
But if the water becomes surface water, also known as runoff water, it can become puddles, or even more exciting, it can become streams.
Streams eventually form into rivers because many streams are joined together.
The river can run into wetlands and they act as safety valves when the water overflows.
You may think wetlands are ugly and smelly, but they ain't. Just a little bit. Wetlands are useful. The wetlands clean the water by making the dirty things go to the bottom. This is also known as floating and settling. This happens because the wetlands are usually very still. The water rejoins the rest of the river, and the river eventually goes to the ocean or drainage basin.
A drainage basin is where runoff water and groundwater collect into a lake or a river.
Drainage basins are created by ground that is not flat but has hills, ridges, or mountains, also known as divides.
Now let's talk about the divides. Divides can be anything: hills, mountains, roads, you name it. Anything that doesn't let the water go in one direction.
Most of Canada's divides were created in the last ice age.
Here's one thing you should know about 97% of water on Earth is salt water.
Well, you might be asking how the salt water is turned into fresh water. It's easy, don't you know?
As the sun is heating up the water, only the water evaporates, leaving the salt behind, and the water cycle continues. All in all,
the water cycle is the thing to know and is very important. The water cycle.
Water cycle!
The water cycle.
Water cycle.